They're looking for every puddle around here. So good morning, I am Mama Bear to Many. We are working on a project out in the woods. We're trying to clear some of our land for pasture, and we are going to be working on that this morning. So we have been doing this. I don't know the days. I'm going to have to look that up before I do this. I know that our day to be done is going to be mid-January. We wanted to apply ourselves for 100 days to try to do this pasture, and so that is what we have been doing. Although we had a mishap, and we realized that we needed to rebuild the sheep barn, so we applied a lot of our time and energy to that, and that's kind of how homesteading is. You get something that's that you have a plan in your head, and everything comes up, and you have to just decide what's going to take top priority in what you're doing, and that was taking top priority in what we were doing. We needed to get the sheep barn up and ready for winter, and it worked out, and it is up and ready for the sheep. We still could do some front logs on the front, but we did end up clearing some cedar just from doing the sheep barn out here. I honestly have not been out here for a while because I've been kind of working down here doing the sheep barn. So I'm at the front of the property, and we have been working way down there. So that's who I am walking to now. We started doing some up here, and then so we're kind of like meeting in the middle. We have some cleared on this section, which I showed in another video, and then we started coming in from the other side because we weren't quite sure how things were going to work. It's actually fairly warm out today. I think it's like 50. And it's been in the 30s, so I don't mind being out here. Although it says it's supposed to rain today, so I'm hoping that it holds off for a little bit. So I'm coming over here, and I'm going to show you the pigs, and I think come out the other side, but I'm not sure. Let's see. It's hard sometimes to be a mom. They think that I'm bringing food. My daughter, she is getting food, and she's like kind of close behind me. So they're all like grumping at each other because they want to be the first one to get fed. So that is what they are doing over here. They think that's what I'm doing. So here's the pigs. Hello. So obviously that's the male, female, and female behind. And female over here. She should definitely be bred, and she should be bred, the smaller one. They're like a few years apart. This mom is really good. She's been, yes, I hear you. She has had a few litters. This will probably be her last year, but I'm not quite sure. So, yeah, they're getting food this morning, and I am going to come through this way. So you can tell here that we've been making brush pile and clearing out. We want this whole section all the way back. I'm going to walk this way through to the other side, so I can show you like the progress from this side. So we have been working on cutting down everything but the trees that we're keeping, which is going to be mainly the maple trees. And then next spring, maybe I can show you this water. Next spring we have a natural, can you see kind of this water here? So we have kind of a natural flow of water that goes through here. And we want to dig this out because it's making everything else wet. So we almost want to build like a swale in the natural form of how it's coming through the property, but we can't do that this time of year. So our goal is we want to clear right now, clear the trees and stuff out right now, and then we will dig that out or attempt to dig that out over time, over the next couple years, because it would be nice if we could have that natural path. We want this to be pasture, but it's so very wet, and it makes it difficult where it's so wet. And so turning, that's all clear. This, we have branches and stuff that need to get picked up. See those? And then I'm gonna go over here. The kids are over there on the road. So it's nice that the ground's semi-frozen, because your boots don't sink all the way into the ground. They just kind of sit on top. But still, a little navigating needs to get done. I think it's so hard sometimes as a mom, especially if you're like a woman homesteader that has a family at home and you have property like out back that needs to be addressed, that you want to work on, because you are devoting your time and energy to your family. At the same time, you need to break that up to do farm. And so to find that happy path can be difficult sometimes. But so I've been trying to do things like, I'll come out here and then I show them like where they'll be cutting, and then I might go in to the house and handle some things, or I might do like say an hour on brush and then go back and then leave them with some things to do. Okay, so this is where we just were. This is the pile of logs and the burn pile, and most of this is all set except we need to pick a little bit of brush up. But because I know, walking out here, because I know that we need that little bit of brush picked up, that's something that I could say, okay, you guys are gonna go work on the brush today while I'm working on whatever household chore needs to be addressed that day. So we already have electric. I don't think I showed this before. We have electric all the way up here on this side that runs our property line. This is where it starts to get messy in here as far as the ground getting messy. So we will need to be pulling all these up and putting them in piles if at all possible. But I'm not quite sure if that's going to be possible where the ground is semi-frozen without a sledgehammer. So I'll have to evaluate that after. But what we're working on is I can actually almost see the other side now, where before I couldn't. This was all so dense before that I couldn't see. We're going back over there. We couldn't even see over there. So we're gonna come here. And I think head back over there. See how wet the ground is? It gets really wet through here. That's why we really want to dig it out. I think on the other side of that tree is where the stream or whatever would run. So we'll need to clean out from where we were, clean out all those pines there, and selectively do some of the small maples so they have enough space to grow, because we harvest our own maple syrup, and so we want to develop trees that will be able to harvest maple syrup. And it's like, so we have this project here that I'm like, oh, let's build pasture, and it's like we always have another project after this. Like after we do this for pasture, I would love to see us start clearing another spot further out to develop an orchard. I do have an orchard with some dwarf trees, but I'd like to develop an actual like traditional orchard, but that would need to be like further back. And I wouldn't want like all apples. I would want, because there's a lot of wild apples here, I would want different things throughout here. So basically we stopped right there, and that's where the piles were. So we need to work through here in here, but we're almost there. Like I can see, before we couldn't see one side to the other. and now we can see one side to the other. So it's really exciting, actually. So this is the back gate, equaling like the first pasture. So we have almost 2 paddocks. It was like one paddock that was pigs last year, and then there was a middle section, and then another pasture here. The middle section was really tiny. But it's coming along. I'm pretty excited. So this was the first pasture, and then I'm gonna walk and duck through here, and this would have been the middle section, and then we'll see the T-posts. There's some T-posts that are stuck in the ground still that are frozen and won't come out, and you'll see the first section. Maybe you can't see them from here. So the T-posts are, oh, they're there, right here. So this would have been the first section with the pigs in it. See the T-post there now. And this is where we were working. Remember, when we first started, this right here was all trees. I mean, it was filled with trees. So now, it's not. And actually our fencing, this is where we just were. See the fence it's right here. So that fencing, we want to bring that, we're going to bring that all around, and then we'll divide it into paddocks after. We want to bring this up the side row here, because this is, our property line is, see that brushy material in there? That's the property line there. So some of these trees are our property, some are not. We're probably going to leave that section there and cut out only what we need as we continue. So these trees, they had dropped some cedars looking for posts, but the inside of these cedars were dead. I'll show you. So we didn't want to use them for building, but we can use them for burning. So see. So we'll be able to use those for burning. So I think what we're going to work on today is this section. See who's there? We're going to work on this section over here. Down to, we want to work down to the T-post here. So other people are going to be bringing logs up and piling brush and stuff. So let me just get through here. Like, these cedar logs can still be used. They'll just be used for wood instead of building projects. I am trying to get through this messy path. And so, if you remember, the day we first started, we started way up over there, cutting down trees. I'm gonna go down there and then show you where we're at from this side. Let's see. So we're gonna come up here. My son's waiting for me to give him instructions, so I'm trying to hurry. I'm an old lady, I'm out of breath. All right, let's see. I'm gonna climb over here. It's a little wet around here. So the first row of trees was actually right here. So I'm just gonna do like a pan around. So we came in this way, and the trees were here. So we're doing brush piles way up over there. From here before I couldn't even see the house, but you can kind of see the house. See the white right there? That's the house. So we are getting along. We're definitely getting along. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. or snow? That is the question.
Snow.
You think snow too? What do y'all think? Rain or snow?
Oh, in the sky, I think rain. I thought you meant of what? I thought you meant of like what I want is snow. What it looks like is rain.
Okay, she thinks rain. She thinks snow. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what we've done so far. We started about there. Remember, that was the first pile that I made, and then I have a second pile there. There's one brush pile. Started another pile here. She built a pile over there. We dragged some brush into the woods over that way. You can't really see that. And then there's that other brush pile that needs to get moved. And then we started throwing stuff in this brush pile here. And we're going to throw these logs. Some of those are frozen in the ground, so we can't get through them. So what we're waiting for now is in this section here. Let me take a step back. We have some longer logs. See, like that one there. So we're going to cut a section off that, cut a section off those, cut a section off of this one. Turning around, we need to cut sections off of those tops. So we're working on cutting that type of stuff. I don't know though how long we're going to last out here, because if it starts downpouring, we're going to be going in. It's really getting windy. I don't want him doing any big trees, like so if it is bigger, I don't want him taking anything down right now because the wind is really starting to pick up. So he took down, I don't know, maybe 10 trees or so. So far, just probably 10 inches or less around. And we're just kind of picking up after him. But I am getting excited. The kids are getting excited too, because they're like, oh, I can see that from here now. I can see that from here now. So they're really excited. So I think this is probably, the way the wind is picking up and it feels like the rain is coming in, I think that we're probably going to be done in about 5 minutes or so. So I hope you all have a great day. Bye.